Well, hi, my friends. I'm Beth English, and I'm here with my good friend Sergio Gomez. And today we're going to talk about how to connect with artists in your community. Woohoo!
Hi, Beth. Good to see you. How are you? Hi, everybody. Good to see you guys. Super happy to be
Hi,
here
I'm
once again.
great. What's going on in Chicago?
Well, it's finally nice and hot and humid, and it's really awesome. We've been Chicago. We wait for the summer, for more than half of the year. So when it comes, we like it.
That's awesome. Yeah, Nashville is beautiful right now. The temperatures are warming up. It's just getting warm enough to maybe go out to the lake or go
Wow.
kayaking. So I'm looking forward to doing more of that while I'm here.
Super, super. Yeah, yeah. Same here. Not kayaking, but going out.
Well, I wanted to talk about how to connect with artists today because now that I'm back in Nashville and I'm out and about again, and I've been running into artists and friends out in the community, whether it's at the grocery store or the local coffee shop, I love that that's part of my world, that anywhere I go, I feel like I run into a friend. And I wanted to share sort of how it is that I got to that point. And maybe some of you guys who are looking to connect with artists in your local communities, that you might be able to find them a lot easier than you think. So I know how important artist relationships are, especially when you want someone to maybe bounce ideas off of or just feel like you're connecting to a like-minded creative person. That always makes artists feel so good. And so I have a few tips. Are you ready to hear these?
I can't wait. I think it's gonna be awesome, especially as we are kind of getting out of the pandemic, and many places, many cities are beginning to open up.
Mm-hmm.
And although some places still have strong restrictions, but slowly, right? Slowly, as we get out, how do we get back into connecting with people once again? I remember the first time I went to an opening after a year of not being anywhere around people. It was like weird. Like, what do I do now?
Mm-hmm.
How do I connect again?
It's going to feel weird, I know, at first, but I think we just have to continue trusting ourselves to know that we're going to feel more comfortable as like our familiar starts to change and then we get some stability after that. So that's what I want to lead you through, sort of like the easiest way to kind of reintroduce yourself to your artist community. So if you're wanting to connect with artists, do not underestimate the hashtags in your Instagram. I'm telling you, when I was in Texas, I found so many people who were photographers and painters and artists and people who were passionate like me because we were using hashtags that connected us to our local community. And that was such a surprise that it worked so well and so easily. So I would say go into your hashtags. I know, Sergio, you use hashtags for Chicago and
Yeah.
Chicago galleries. So you're really good about that. So anyone in Chicago who's an artist should definitely know how to connect with you. And then there's things that you're doing around the town. And so once you connect in with those hashtags and with the people who are using them, following them, maybe send them a message, kind of reach out, and then just kind of wait and see if a show comes up. And if there's shows going on in your community, then go out to them, meet other artists. And you have to sort of like take that initial step, though. If you want to build community around yourself, you've got to be brave. You got to put yourself out there and go out and connect with people. So what do you think about that as a strategy to sort of find our way around town and a way around our local communities by connecting first with the hashtags that are being used, the events that are being promoted, and then stepping out into the world and going and connecting with people?
I love that. I think that's a really good one. Anything that uses geotagging is perfect. Yeah, I use a lot of Chicago tags myself and hashtags, for the specific things. And they work, because other people in the community who may be using them or looking for things. I sometimes, like, if I'm looking for something to do, I may use, like, do a search with the hashtag things to do in Chicago. And you'll find events that you had never heard of before that people are doing. It's really interesting, really cool. And of
Mm-hmm.
course, there are hashtags for the art community, that Chicago artists, Chicago galleries, artists in Chicago, Chicago art events, etc. Right? It can go on and on. So I think that's really cool. Also, the Facebook events pages are also really good to see what galleries are doing, or if there are any workshops, anything that when artists are kind of congregating, finding them on social. That is a really good idea.
Yes, you have to go where the artists are.
Right.
And sometimes they're at the art store. So that might be a place that
Right.
you meet someone. I know, like, if you're dating, they say, go to the grocery store. Maybe you find someone there. Well, if you want to make an art friend, go to the art store. And
Exactly.
usually the people who are working at the art store are also artists. So,
Right.
ask them about what they are hearing and what's going on. And if there's somewhere that you should be checking out or an event coming up, like, just start asking really good questions and kind of just finding your way through it. I know that there can be so many events going on. Like you said, check out the Facebook event section. But
Mhm.
like, a lot of people don't even know that they can do that. A lot of people
Right.
don't even know how to go about finding events in their local community. And so I just say, put yourself out there, do some really good Google searches,
Right.
follow artists that you know are from your area, and then see what they're talking about, and just kind of throw yourself into the conversation.
I love that. It's super good. I love that strategy, and I don't use it as much as I should. I think I'm gonna use it this and more.
Well, there's also Facebook groups too, and those offer a little bit more of a like connection point because there's more conversations and engagement going on in some of those groups, more specific questions and stuff. And so I would say go check out the local groups in your area. I know people find us all the time, the Nashville Creative Group, because of our name. And we just invite all local creatives to come and commune with us and then see what is going on, see who's talking a lot, connect with them, and then reach out to the individuals that you feel like, oh, they're doing interesting work, or I love their work, or I think maybe we would have like a great conversation about art. Reach out to them and then make an artist date. I think sometimes we think that all of our appointments or scheduling things have to have some sort of like end game, whereas like I want to collaborate or, but just make a date for the sake of connecting and talking about art. Like that to me is a really fun way, like that connects us to our joy too, that connects us to other people. We're learning, we're discovering, we're curious, and at the end we've made a new friend, and ultimately that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I love that they taking the initiative, right, to take that step. A lot of times, like we're waiting for somebody to come and knock on our door or send us the invite or send us the Facebook group link. But there's so many things we can do ourselves. We take the initiative and we take the steps to and the time, to say, well, I'm gonna take that first next step and then see what happens, right? See what the universe has for me around this. And yeah, I love that.
Well, I feel like I see that a lot where artists have good intentions to go out and connect and make friends with other artists, but then they just never seem to do it because they're introverted, or they're maybe just hesitant because they just maybe think, well, why would they want to talk to me? Well,
Hmm.
I think we all know as artists, when we meet another artist, like, yeah, we're excited about that because that is like someone else who speaks our language. And so just
Right.
imagine, reaching out to someone who maybe you think, oh, they probably don't want to talk to me or they're too busy or whatever. You never know how you just reaching out to say, I like your work or I'm encouraged or inspired by you, how that could potentially, change the way that they're feeling that day. I know that we all want to connect. Like that is at our core of who we are as humans. And as artists, I think we seek it out even more because not only are we wanting to connect personally, but we want to connect our audience through the work that we make. So we're
Right.
always thinking about this. And I think when we have a community around us, it just makes this journey and this process of being an artist and living a creative life that much richer.
Super. Yeah. One of the tactics or strategies that I used back in the day, when nobody knew me here in Chicago and like, I really wanted to connect with that community. And, as you were talking about, like, I was thinking, like, what have I done? And one that it actually worked out really good is cause I had a blog. So I started doing in my blog every weekend, like I recommending like 10 shows you don't want to miss this weekend in Chicago. And I would put the date. So I would just go to the newspaper or art magazine and look for the exhibitions that I thought were really interesting, and then I would recommend those. So everybody who, when you see like 10 things not to miss, what you do, like, oh, I want to click and see what not to miss. And even if you're as an artist, you're not, a newspaper, you are recommending those, and you say a little bit why you're excited about that show, people really responded and they started to really taking my post and sharing it. They started to go really crazy, and it was really fun. And then I started to meet people. Then I galleries also, someone started to send me their press releases so that I could, include all the artists who were going to show, hey, could you include this in your list? So, being part of the community by also sharing what's happening in the community, being a voice for the community. And I thought that was a really good strategy that worked out for me. I haven't done it anymore because, time, it's time consuming. But at the beginning, it was really great to get into the community.
I didn't know that about you, and that's exactly how I started too.
Oh, really? Okay, super. High five.
Yeah, moving to Nashville, I knew absolutely no one, and I just dove right in. I started going to all the shows and the art walks and the crawls and anything that was going on. I'd show up, meet people, and if there was art that I could afford, I would try and buy it and support the community. And that's how I got started. And I would write in my blog about the things going on, and I would create sort of an experience like, well, if you go to this art show, this restaurant's actually nearby and it's really good to make like a whole evening of it. And then from there, I had all these wonderful connections in the art community. And that's how the foundation of the Nashville Creative Group started. So
very cool, very cool.
Now we're like almost 10,000 artists in the community. It just blows me away how when you just take a little bit of initiative and you have a lot of goodwill and you just are out there with the intention to connect and serve, amazing, wonderful things can happen. So
absolutely, I love it. And sometimes we think like, oh, who's gonna read it? Who's gonna watch? But you never know. And you just do it and put it out there and let people respond to it.
Awesome. Well, I hope this is going to help you guys get started connecting back into the art community, meeting new artists, making new friendships, and creating that tribe that I know that we all desire to have as artists. And it'll just make your art life that much better. So, super. Sergio, where can our friends find you after the video so that they can see all the wonderful things that you do during the week?
Yes, of course. If you guys can find me, if you want to find me on social media, find me at Sergio Gomez Art on my website, sergiogomezonline.com. If you want to check out all my coaching programs and stuff, just go to theartistnextlevel.com and that's where I'll be there. So how about you, Beth?
You guys can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Beth English, and you can find the Nashville Creative Group also on Facebook and Instagram. And I'm on all the other platforms too, but I pretty much stay on those two the most. And I would love to connect with you if you're watching and you have more questions about this. Send me a DM. I'm happy to reply and connect with you. So, whoa, this was a great episode. I'm excited to go out and connect with people again.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Ben.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Bye.